All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dow here. Well, I got a very important subject, at least I think it is. A very, very important subject, because given the climate that we're living in today, you don't know. I often say you don't get to pick the day, time, or hour when evil is coming your way. You just don't know. You wake up in the morning, you got big plans for you and the family, blase, or whatever you want to call it, and then next thing you know, bam, chaos hits. What do you mean? Title of this video right here is "Should You Engage an Active Shooter?" All right. Well, let me put it like this. If you're not part of the member over on my Patreon channel, you may want to go over there. All right, go over my Patreon channel. Description will be down below. We talk about everything over there. It's more so that I would never. Some of the stuff I talk about, the majority of stuff I talk about over, I would never talk about on YouTube. All right, so let's think about this for a second. Now, first of all, let me come from the perspective: if you have let's say a pistol. All right, let's say you've got a pistol. And the majority of the people in America that actually carry a firearm, I would probably say upwards of 80%, if not 90% of the people that carry a firearm are not proficient with that firearm. They don't know if it shoots high, shoots low, shoots left, shoots right. And of course, then the actual stress of a particular situation, if you think you're just going to sit there and try to slowly bring that weapon up to eyesight, when you're going to align, have proper sight alignment, and then you're going to, you think that person you're pointing that weapon at is just going to sit there and let you shoot them. I don't know what movies you've been watching, but you got another thing coming. That's not the way it works in real life. The only way you can stay disciplined and maintain integrity throughout the trigger squeeze, the only way you can do that is through practice. As this old saying goes, practice make perfect. And if you just carry a firearm and something goes down, and there's a bunch of other people with firearms, listen, I want y'all to hear me real good. Those of you who don't ever, hardly ever, shoot your weapon. And I'm talking about, in order to be proficient, you need to at least shoot that thing twice. You need to shoot that thing at least bare minimum. You need to be putting 50 or 100 pounds or 50 or 100 rounds downrange every 2 weeks. And you always need to be critiquing your hold, your stance. There's just a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to put it like it, because a lot of people just think you just put a bullet into the weapon and you shoot and then bam, you're good. So should that type of person engage an active shooter? I would say no. I would say the best thing you could do is duck, run, get your family. If you got family, get to a safe environment. And hopefully, if you don't become a victim, live to fight another day. If you're not proficient at all, meaning you are a fair weather person that you carry a gun but you don't never shoot it, and the last time you shot it was, who knows, you don't even know. You don't need to be engaged in an active shooter. All right, let's talk about another level of skill set. Let's say if you are proficient, okay? Now, your mindset is a hell of a lot different than those who just carry guns. You know what I mean? Mindset is a hell of a lot different than those who just carry guns. Automatically already when you're out, your mindset is totally different. Let me give y'all my mindset and the mindset of our brethren in the ministry. Now, in the ministry, we probably only have maybe, I'm just going to throw some ballpark figures out there. Let's just say you have 100 men in the ministry. All right. In the ministry, probably 50% of the men that's in the ministry are proficient. They train, they go back in and get dirty, they get muddy, they shoot, boom, communicate. And they are proficient. Them are the only ones that I would say that if there's a scenario where there's an active shooter and he's running around taking people out like he's playing duck hunt, them the only ones I would say engage. And the reason why is because as soon as they hear the first round, all right, they're already assessing the situation. The training is going to kick in and start taking over. And they're going to be moving a hell of a lot different than someone who hears shots fired and you don't train. First thing you're going to do, you probably won't even grab your weapon anyway. You probably run and hide anyway. But one that is trained, totally different. Just totally different mindset. They're going to assess the situation. They're going to make sure that their family is safe. But if that active shooter is really, really close, I guarantee they're more likely going to engage it. And not only engage, but probably win the fight because they train and they know what they're doing. Let's go to people who are prior military. All right? All hits apply. Okay? Now, when we shoot here at Straightway, we shoot for proficiency. We try to, I think we on a draw, within 5 seconds from a draw, we try to make sure, and matter of fact, what was the last one we did? We had to put 3 rounds within a fist. Pow, pow, pow. Three rounds within the fist within 3 seconds from a draw. And that's pretty much, and 3 seconds don't seem like a long time, but 3 seconds is a lifetime. Now, we got men that could take and from a draw and hit the target every single time, pow, pow, pow. But we're mostly about being, having a tight shot group. If you can put 3 rounds in 3 seconds in a fist, you're doing really good. Now, let's talk about the military, ex-military, stuff like that. Now, again, in the military, men have trained so much that it is crazy what happens. It's like, if you hear, bam, you hear a shot, first thing you do, you already know where it's coming from. And then you start moving towards it. And out here, you have to change your mindset. And it takes a while for a person that has been in the infantry, has been in the combat arms, in the military. I'm telling you, man, it's just a total different mindset. And you ain't got to worry about them. If there's an active shooter, they're going to it. They're going to the fight. Because they want to eliminate and stop the threat from taking innocent civilians' lives and even their own. But it's just a total different mindset. There ain't too many people out here that, like I'll give you an example. We're in a situation in a store, okay, and you see a grenade, all right, and somebody pops a grenade and throws it off in the middle of Walmart or something like that, and you got 4 civilian men and 2 ex-military over here. One of those military people is going to probably sacrifice themselves and jump on that grenade in order to save others. The rest of them going to hightail it and run and get fragged half to death and probably still die anyway. But I just, you cannot put enough emphasis. There's no way you can put enough emphasis on training. You have to train. Going around wearing a firearm or a pistol and it's sagging off the side of you, and anyway, it's just sad. It really is. It's sad what goes on in today's mindset. But like when myself and my family go out, now probably 75 or 70% of the women in the ministry, they all carry firearms. And myself personally, I need to be more proficient about making sure that my Ishas are proficient. That we get out there on that range, I need to keep them current. They know how to use a weapon. They know all the safety protocols of weaponry. They know all that stuff, but I got to get them out there even more so. But usually when we're out, man, you guarantee there's probably about 3 or 4 guns. And we go over different strategies, such as if you're in a parking lot, or let's say you pull up on somebody's robe, or so somebody's robe pulls up on you or something like that, or you see, first sign you see a firearm and somebody's pointing it towards you. What do you do? How do you do it? I can go on and on. I'll share the intimate, deeper details on Patreon, but I'm not going to do it over here on YouTube. But as a man, as a leader, it's kind of like Noah's Ark. Yeah, Yah told Noah to build an ark, didn't he? You didn't hear it. His sons didn't hear it. He told Noah. Noah, by conviction, started building an ark. All right? Everybody mocked and jeered and laughed at him. Long time. It took them 100 years to build that ark, plus 120. He's the laughing stock. He's the crackpot. He's the kook. He's the, it's kind of like when I started these communities. They asked me, what you doing? I said, preparing an ark. What kind of ark you preparing? A place of refuge and safety. For what? Well, because you don't see the way this world going. You don't see what's happening. You don't see what's going on with the government in this world and how they're trying to poison and kill us. Y'all don't get it. You better go back to the simple life. They mocked me, they laughed at me, they jeered, they derided, they chided, they accused, they point fingers, they called me names, all that stuff. I kept my head down. When I mean head down, I mean focus. Focus, laser focus, full steam ahead, straight ahead. Keep on working, keep on grinding, keep on building. Yeah. And what I'm doing is able to help a lot of people's lives out, and they're glad of it. But I can tell you one thing, as soon as that first raindrop fell from that sky and that water started coming up, Noah was no longer the crackpot, the kook, the deceiver, the cult leader. He was none of that. But only one problem, though, that everybody keeps missing out. Just because someone is building, and that's another problem that we have in America today, with the morbidly obese, the sedentary life that people are in, that everybody wants to depend on God. But they don't understand that if you're going to do what God, you don't depend on God, what God says. God, I call him Yah, he always tells his men. I'll give you an example. We're talking about Noah. Noah built an ark. God didn't build the ark. He just told him what to do, gave him the dimensions, downloaded it in his mind. And he just told him what to do. God did. If Noah if he just sit there and said, okay, well, we're going to wait because Yah's going to build his ark. You ain't going no damn where. You're going to die like everybody else. You got to put your hand to the plow. He told Moses, build a tabernacle. Okay. Why didn't God come down and build a tabernacle? I know I'm digressing from this, but I'm getting to a point here, everybody. I want you to stick with me. I'm getting to a point. Why didn't God come down and build a tabernacle himself? Because he told Moses to do it. Everything that God tells you to do has to do with faith. It also has to do with doing. The Most High is always checking your level of faith based on your ability to either do or not do. Because everybody trusts God. Oh, trust God. Abstract. And they have nothing. Well, going back around to the active shooter. I know this. Noah was able to save his household. And I'm going to tell you this. Going back around to this active shooter thing. You listen to me real good. Abraham armed his trained servants. He just didn't arm everybody. He armed his trained servants. That's a different mentality. Everybody wants to be armed, but everybody don't want to train. You see what I'm talking about? All right. So Abraham armed his trained servants, and especially us, because man, I'm getting people they're threatening myself and the pastor's lives in this ministry right here. So you don't think we take that threat seriously? Man. So what you need to do, be aware of your surroundings. Get out there and get proficient. Be extremely proficient. Know your weapon system. Know your weapon system. I have quite a few firearms, but I only have like one or two that I deal with on a continual basis. And I know those systems. And I can tell you that I realize as I've gotten older, I'm slower. I'm not as fast. I'm not as strong. Now, people say, well, damn, you're still strong, but I said I'm not as strong. I don't think I'm ever going to be as strong as I was when I was in my youth and stuff. That it don't make no deal. I mean, damn, I'm almost 60 years old. So 60 years old, benching 385 or 400 pounds, man, that sounds good. But when I was younger, I could do more. You understand what I mean? So the decline is on. So training, you always fall back on your training. You always fall back on your training. And I thank the Father giving us everything that we need, because he's given us a couple of professional warriors, soldiers, real life special forces combatives in the military to help make sure that straightweight and the security team, the armor bearers, they're always on point. Can't say enough about Ranger and Frogman. Can't say enough about them. Thank y'all not only for your service to the country, but thank you for your service to the Most High Yah first and foremost, and the time and energy and effort and the attention to detail that you give every single time that you go out. And I'm sure the brethren are extremely, man, our brethren are just so elated about being at the level that they're at. And I'm talking about even from those who are carrying weapons and those who shoot every once in a while. We do have an elite set of brethren that are really, really damn good. Glory to the King. And thank you for the leadership of Brother Brad. So, but I hope I said something. I kind of rambled on here a little bit because I digress and stuff. But listen, you got to look at your family, and you and only you can make this assessment. How important are they to you? How important is your wife? How important is your children? If they're important, then you'll get off your lazy ass and you'll start training. If they ain't important, just keep your damn firearm saddled. You're carrying it, but you don't know what the hell it's about. You don't know what the hell you're doing. I get it. And you can look the part. You can look like you, I don't know. I see it all the time. I see people in stores. They got some of them open carrying, and they want to let the world know that they open carrying too. I have no problem with that. Somebody asked me the other day on YouTube. They asked me, Pastor Dow, how do you carry? I say concealed. I want the element of surprise. So therefore we carry concealed. I don't want to be out in a particular situation and something go down and next thing you know, some of these make my day Barney Fife police officers or sheriffs come out there, and next thing you know, they see guns, they just start shooting. Especially if you black. You black, they see you, they gonna start shooting. And even at that, you better learn how to defend yourself and don't become a victim even of law enforcement. Don't become a victim of law enforcement. Hell no. But put yourself in the right place at the right time. Hard to do. Limit your going. Learn how to be content. Like I told you a long time ago, buy some land. Start working on that farm. Little homestead, man, you wouldn't believe how much your life would change. So I said enough. I gave you an idea of who should engage an active shooter, who shouldn't. And maybe we'll come back a little bit later on and we'll talk about scenario as far as backpacks, rifles, and pistols. Y'all have a wonderful day. Hope y'all have a good wicked end. That don't mean you wicked, but the weekend is the wicked end. Be encouraged. King coming.